Hi, I'm Sean from Email Experts, and in this video I'll run through how to get going with SMS with Klaviyo. So how to set up your account, how to start collecting subscribers, how to start integrating flows, and how to use SMS in your campaigns. In this video, I'm going to cover a lot of different topics to do with SMS. So we've timestamped this video, so feel free to go to the section that's most relevant to you, especially if you've already started doing some things in Klaviyo SMS. Cool, so let's jump into it. So who is this for? Klaviyo for SMS currently supports the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom at the time of recording. At the moment, if you have a lot of customers outside of that, then you'll need to have a look at other solutions. And in the future, Klaviyo may start to support other countries too. But like I said, as of recording, it's just these 4 countries. Also with Klaviyo, there are legal requirements. And if you are participating in one of these industries, so there's the so-called shaft industry, sex, hate, alcohol, firearms, and tobacco, as well as cannabis, CBD, loans, and gambling, is prevented from using Klaviyo SMS. Even if it is legal within your country, you won't be able to use it on Klaviyo because of their terms of service. Also on the compliance side of things, and keep in mind this isn't legal advice, Klaviyo is very strict about marketing permission, and you'll need to update your privacy policy and your terms of service. Cool, now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump into the first topic, which is setting up Klaviyo SMS. Within your Klaviyo account, you'll need to go to this Try SMS or Upgrade SMS. There'll be some sort of button there if you haven't already upgraded SMS. So click Try SMS. And again, Klaviyo will give you these compliance warnings here. So just click Continue as long as you are compliant, and Klaviyo will activate SMS. Cool, so Klaviyo has activated our account. And the first thing it's done is it's set up a sending phone number. This sending number will be used for your US and Canadian customers. Customers in Australia and the UK will be receiving emails from a different entity. So that's the first thing we need to do. So firstly, this phone number is identifying, and so you just wait for Klaviyo to verify that. It'll only take an hour or so. And if it doesn't do it in an hour, just wait a day, it'll be fine. The next thing you need to do is set up your alphanumeric. This is where the emails will come from for Australian and UK-based customers. So click on here and click Edit, and you'll put in your name here. I'll just use Kickstart as our name for our brand here. And this can only be 11 characters. So if your brand is longer than that, then you'll need to shorten it or find a shorter version. And then put your brand name in here as well. When we get into sending campaigns and flows, I'll show where that goes. Great. And so now we've set up SMS for our Klaviyo account. Now we need to start collecting subscribers. Great. So now that we have set up SMS within the Klaviyo account, now we need to start collecting SMS subscribers at the checkout. So the first thing that you need to do, I've got 4 tabs open here. So I've got my lists and segments, and Klaviyo's automatically created an SMS subscribers list. If it hasn't, then just click Create a List and create an SMS subscribers list. Pretty straightforward. Then I've also got the tab open with the integration to Shopify. So you just click on Integrations, click on Shopify, and this brings up the Klaviyo Shopify integration setup. And then I've also got Shopify set up. Sorry, I've had to blur this because it's obviously got sensitive information, but we'll need to go into here for the checkout. And I've got the checkout open for the account. Okay, so starting in Shopify, what you need to do is go down to Settings, click on Checkout Settings, and scroll down until you get to the SMS Marketing option. So click Show an option to subscribe at checkout. And then it says here you'll need to update your terms and service and privacy policy. So if you click on that, it will take you to your terms and service and privacy policy. And what you need to do in there is wherever it mentions email, make sure that you also update your terms of service to also include SMS or text messaging or phone numbers. So if you're asking customers, if you're saying like, we're going to use your email address, make sure you also say, we will use your email address and phone number. If you say we'll send you emails, say we'll send you emails and text messages from time to time, that sort of thing, just to make sure that you're legally compliant. Okay, so now that we've got that, so we can click Show an option to subscribe at checkout, we click Save. Now we go into our Shopify integration. And so we've already got our Collect Email Subscribers checkbox, and now we want to click Collect SMS Subscribers. And within this drop box, you're going to search for SMS and click SMS Subscribers. I don't recommend syncing SMS subscription status to Shopify, although you can if you like. There's not a really big deal. So click Update Settings. And then this will take you to Shopify, and you'll need to click Update App. Great, so we need to, and then update integration again. Great, so now we've added SMS consent to the checkout process. So now we go back to our checkout, we refresh, and you'll find, so we've obviously got our email consent here. For SMS, we need to be a little bit more clear just because SMS is more regulated than email. And what customers will see is they'll have this checkbox to text me with news and offers. Unfortunately, they do need to put their phone number in twice. And then it will be preset to your local area. I'm not going to type in my phone number, but that's the phone number that they'll start to get text messages from. And this is where your terms and conditions will link as well. So that's how you add SMS consent to the checkout. Now we'll get into the sign-up forms. Okay, now we're going to talk about sign-up forms. So in another video, we built sign-up forms for email collection. So I recommend you check out that one if you haven't already, and you haven't already got sign-up forms on your website from Klaviyo. And so here, I'm going to talk through adding SMS consent to those sign-up forms as well. Let's jump into it. So in Klaviyo, go to sign-up forms. And within here, click Create Sign-up Form. And Klaviyo actually has a lot of great forms that collects phone numbers. I recommend we'll start with a pop-up, but we'll also do an embed one as well. So we'll start with multi-step email and SMS, and we'll need to choose a list. So let's just use dummy list 1 for now. And we're not going to use the SMS subscribers list now because this form is also for collecting email addresses. It's also for collecting SMS subscribers as well. So if you use this form, then this is creating a form from scratch. And so this is going to add your email subscribers. This is going to be a pop-up, so you can customize this. It's got a great editor within Klaviyo. I'm not going to go through that because we went through it in the other video, but it's already preset and really fantastic. And then it's already got SMS subscribe consent here as well. The only thing that you'll need to do here is click on this and choose what the default country is. So we're Australia, so that will be our default country. Customers can obviously change it, but it's just handy to have the defaults on where most of your customers will be coming from. Check the terms and conditions, and then you're all good to go. So that's setting up a two-step form right from the get-go. We really like two-step forms because it means that you're not asking for too much information right from the start. You're asking for one little bit of information, email, and then you're also asking for phone number. And in our experience, 60 to 80% of customers will fill in that second page. So it's really fantastic. But if they don't fill in that second page, at least you've got the phone number from the first page. Okay, but what if you've already got a pop-up that is collecting email but isn't already collecting SMS? Okay, let's jump into that. So you go to subscribe for coupon. So this is an example of a pop-up where we're already collecting email addresses, but we haven't got a second page. So all we do is up here, you click plus step, click SMS opt-in, and we'll just choose our SMS list here. In this example, I'm just going to pretend we're using preview list. And this automatically adds that second page. Very straightforward. And again, you just click on here, change your default country, and then make sure that you're collecting SMS consent. Make sure your terms and conditions are all properly updated here, and you're good to go. Now, the other great thing about having a second page while we're here is we may as well collect extra information as well. So we can actually add a field asking for more information. For example, first name. Map that to first name. I mean, look, it doesn't hurt to try to start collecting a little bit more information on your customers, right? And again, it's very straightforward. We don't lose anything by adding this second page. If customers fill in the first page and then they don't fill in the second page, we haven't lost anything. But if they do, then we've got extra information. And this is going to be much more effective for collecting SMS consent than asking after the fact from an email, for example. So if you can start to collect SMS subscribers on your pop-up, you're going to be in a really good position and you're going to grow your list really fast. Cool, and then you'll click publish, and then that will update any existing forms. So that's for pop-ups. Now for embed forms. So forms that appear on your website, maybe in your footer, other places like that. So here's an example of an embed form, and you can actually just add a second page to your embed form, which is really cool. You've got an embedded form, somebody puts in their email address, they think they've submitted and that they have, but you can also ask for SMS consent as well. So again, just click add a step, SMS opt-in, choose your SMS list. It can be the same list, doesn't matter. Where the form appeared, we'll now ask for that extra information. And just like the pop-up, you can add extra fields if you want, but you don't have to. So, and again, when you publish, that's going to update any existing embedded forms on your website. Another great use case for the embed forms, while they can exist in the footer form, another great use case is making a landing page, a mobile optimized landing page, specifically for this form, and create one that will be for customers when they land on your page from something like Instagram. And so have a landing page that is just for collecting SMS subscribers, especially if you within Instagram have the ability to do a swipe up link, which I know is only for people who have a certain number of followers. But that's a way that you can use an Instagram story, for example, to encourage customers to sign up for a particular promo, a particular offer, to sign up for SMS and really turn your Instagram followers into SMS subscribers. It'll be super powerful. So all you do there is make a really simple landing page, create your embed form here, put this embed code onto that landing page, and then you've got a landing page that's really fantastic and going to grow your list really quickly. And it starts to collect email subscribers and SMS subscribers. Okay, so now we've figured out how to set up our account to start collecting subscribers from the checkout and from the pop-up and forms on your site and landing pages. Now let's start sending campaigns. So within campaigns, within Klaviyo, once you've got SMS activated, you just go to campaigns and click create campaign, and you'll be given the option to select SMS. Click create your campaign. We'll just leave it as test and we'll send to our dummy list for now. And you can choose whether to have, as with any Klaviyo campaign, you can choose whether you want to skip recently sent customers or not. And here's where you type in the content of your SMS. Now, the interesting thing with Klaviyo SMS is that you can put in a URL of the landing page and Klaviyo will automatically shorten it. So you can have a long URL, and if you want to use UTM tags with Klaviyo, at least at the moment, you'll need to go and manually add those UTM tags yourself. But if you don't mind, then you can just paste in the call to action. So now, on the strategy of SMS, use it sparingly because you don't want to frustrate your customers and you don't want them to be receiving text messages all the time, because it's very easy for them to opt out. And once they've opted out, you're not getting them back until, unless they subscribe again in the future. And so you want to make sure that when you're sending text messages that you're providing a lot of value to them. Okay, so the strategy of the design, if you will, of a text message, as much as it can be designed, is you just want to put in a really simple message, really clear. You've got 160 characters, but because you've got to have text stop to opt out or like an unsubscribe link for the Australian and UK customers, you have to account for the fact that some of those characters are not available for your message. So when you're drafting your message, so you've got 100 characters for your message, you've got your call to action link, and then you've got the other compliance stuff that Klaviyo is going to add in there. So like I said, just for new product releases or sale events, so let's say, newest styles now in stock, don't miss out, limited time only. And then you're going to put your call to action link in there, and you can just put your link in there. And like I said, Klaviyo is then going to shorten it. And then what you need to do is once you're happy with that, and you can actually use merge tags. So you can say, hi, you can address them by their name, hi first name, and then it's going to default to something. You can choose the default, so you could say hi there. Newest styles in stock, now in stock, don't miss out, limited time only, and there's our link. And then this is what it's going to look like to the customer. This is what it's going to look like from a US customer where it's getting sent from this toll-free number. And so it is going to put the brand name at the start of the message there. You can then preview what it looks like in the different countries. So in Australia and the UK, because we've set it up to send from the alphanumeric 11-character code, that's where it's going to come from. And then you can go to compliance and you can decide whether it's going to have the organization prefix. I think it's automatically going to add that for Canadian customers anyway. So if you're sending to mostly Australian and UK customers, you could probably get rid of the organization prefix because it's already going to be in the alphanumeric. But if you've got a significant amount of customers in the US, then it's better to put the prefix there. Now keep in mind also the unsubscribe instructions and unsubscribe link. For Australian and UK customers, it's going to have an unsubscribe link, at least for now. I mean, I think it's better to have a reply stop, but anyway, it's going to have that there. So for that reason, I recommend in your content having a bit of space underneath your message so that customers, it's very clear to them when they're clicking the call to action link as opposed to clicking the unsubscribe link. And then for United States and United States and Canadian customers, they're going to get these versions here. So if we go back to our message, we can see how many characters it is in each region. You just click on this little drop down and it tells you, and it will be one estimated SMS. If you go over 160 characters, well, firstly, I recommend that you don't. I recommend that you keep it under 160 characters. But if you do go over, then you're going to get charged, extra messages per message that you send out. If you've got it longer, then customers, it's going to take them longer to digest, and I don't think it's going to be extra effective. And then if you want to see how many characters it is, you can just go up to here and click it, change it to Australia. Here we've got 140. So we've got a little bit of leeway here. And this is assuming that the name is 5 characters long. If someone has a long name, then we've still got leeway. So that's all good, right? So we go back to compliance, make sure that we're happy with this, that it's got the organization prefix for United States. In this case, we're going to assume that we've got a lot of customers in the US, so we're going to leave the organization prefix there, and then click save and review. And then just as you can with an email campaign, or in this campaign it's not going to let us send because it's just sending to this dummy list, but just as you can with an email campaign, you can then go to schedule or send. Cool. And as I said, strategically we recommend sending SMS campaigns only at most once every couple of weeks, and mostly for product launches and sale events. Okay, so we've already gone through setting up your Klaviyo SMS account, collecting subscribers at the checkout, collecting subscribers on the pop-up, collecting subscribers on landing page forms, and sending campaigns. Now we just need to do the final thing, which is setting up our flows. Okay, so first let's just jump into a flow. We'll start with the abandoned cart flow. I recommend, if you're just getting started with SMS, just adding SMS to your abandoned cart flow and welcome series flow. But I'll just show you through the interface first. So within the flow builder, as you're probably familiar with Klaviyo with email, you're used to having the editor in the middle here, and then the different types of blocks. And you'll see once you've activated SMS, now you'll have an SMS block. So it just drags in like an email block. You can configure the content. Okay, and now we're in the text message editor. Just like when we're making the campaign, we can add the content into this message here. So you type out your message. In this example, we're using the abandoned cart. So, you left something in your cart. Click here to pick up where you left off. Right. Or maybe let's just say pick up where you left off. And then we want to add the call to action. Now, this is just a little bit tricky. I think Klaviyo's got some pre-built flows for SMS, but if you're just building this from scratch, then what you do is you go over to here, click on this checkout started event, click view details, and then you scroll down to the section where it says checkout URL, click on this, and it's been copied to the clipboard, and then you're just going to add and then paste that there. And as with before, it's going to shorten the URL. We just want to add a bit of space around it. And again, so this is really, this gives us the URL that's going to take us straight to the checkout link. So it's really handy in that way. So, and again, we go to our compliance, we decide whether we want the organization prefix or not. Again, if your customers are mostly in Australia or the UK, then you can get rid of the organization prefix. But if you do have customers in the US or Canada, then I recommend leaving that prefix on there. Great. So we'll save our content, and there's our abandoned cart message. Okay, so strategically for the abandoned cart, here's what I recommend. If you already have one abandoned cart email that gets sent out the day of and another reminder, I recommend adding SMS reminder down here. So what you do, okay, so within the Klaviyo editor, you can drag in this conditional block, conditional split, and then from the conditional split, you'll notice once you've activated SMS within your Klaviyo account, you're going to have a new option here, which is someone is or is not consented to receive SMS, and it's chopped off, but that's what it means. And here we're going to set it up so that if the yes path is that they're not consented to receive SMS, and so then they'll continue down this path if they're not. So we're going to put the SMS over in the no path. So if they are consented to receive SMS, they'll go down the yes path. If they're not, then they'll go down the no path, and they'll receive the text message. And then we still want them to receive the abandoned cart email. We'll just put a time delay on that. So if they are consented to receive SMS, then they'll get a text message. If they don't respond to that, then they'll get another email. If they are not consented to receive SMS, then they'll just go straight down and receive email number 2. So now let's do the welcome email, or the welcome message equivalent as well. And we've got a whole video on our welcome series as well. But just for illustrative purposes, in this example, we're just assuming that the first email is a welcome offer, the second email is a social media CTA, and the third email is the welcome offer reminder. So all we want to do here is add SMS to the mix as well. Okay, so as a welcome series, obviously we only want this to be going out to customers if they haven't placed an order since starting this flow. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Keep in mind that they're not going to be receiving text messages or emails if they've actually purchased from the welcome series already. Okay, in the welcome series, similar to as we did with the Abanddon cart, we want to also send them a reminder about the offer if they didn't use it from the email right away, and we also want to send them another reminder later on if they don't use it later on. Cool. So similar to before, we just add a conditional split under here, and we are selecting that is not consented to receive SMS because we're going to put SMS in the other path, and we'll put our text message over on the no path, and add a time delay above it. So here we'll add maybe a 4-hour time delay. And here's the text. Here's where we put the text message, which has the offer that they haven't used in the first email. And so so we configure that just like we did before, and then that can be sent out to customers who didn't use it on the first time. And then similarly again, just at the bottom, conditional split. Starting to see a pattern here. Click on as is not consented to receive. And then we put our SMS over in that path. And in this way we can continue to add emails to the welcome series later on if we wanted to. Technically we could just put this here without having a conditional split, but it's just good practice to have this split here. Cool, and then that's where you put your offer reminder for customers. And then we'll just add a time delay to this as well. Let's make this one a 2-day time delay. And then that's where we'd have our reminder for our customers who haven't used the offer up until this point. SMS is a super powerful channel, and it's a really exciting and intimate way to connect with your customers. It gets incredible ROI, over 122 times ROI for investment, but you do have to be careful, and it's not unlimited. So use it wisely, but do get started. Start collecting SMS consent at the checkout, start collecting SMS subscribers on your pop-ups, and start integrating with your flows. And then when you have your next big sale event, try sending out a text message to those subscribers. Let me know if you've got any questions below. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe, and also check out our other videos, especially on setting up an email welcome series, setting up the Abanddon cart series, and collecting subscribers through pop-ups and embed forms. Thanks so much, and we look forward to seeing what you build.